I remember the exact moment she told me to leave. The plane was still airborne, a glass of wine poised in her hand, her sister hissing lies like a serpent coiled behind satin. She didn't meet my eyes. She simply lifted her manicured fingers as if flicking dust from a sleeve and said, "By the time we land, your things will already be packed." The wine burned my throat, not from drinking, but from shame. That's how 15 years of loyalty vanished, cast out at 30,000 feet, not by turbulence, but by treachery. We weren't always like this. She once looked at me the way empires regard their first stone, like I was the cornerstone. I built her company with my hands, my ideas, my sleepless nights. The woman I married, brilliant, daring, beautiful, untamed, was broke. I shaped her chaos into strategy. Together, we climbed. The first deal, the first office, the first million. Every brick in her empire bore my fingerprints. Every speech she delivered carried my words, even if my name never passed her lips. I didn't mind. Love blinds you to omission. But her sister, Charlotte, never liked me. Always circling, always whispering. A woman thriving in shadows, jealous of a throne she never earned. For years, she seeded doubt, tiny needles beneath the skin of our marriage. I saw it. I ignored it. I believed blood ties outweighed gossip. I was wrong. The betrayal was subtle, not new. It began with small fractures, her phone face down, conversations ending abruptly, eyes calculating instead of trusting. The night before the plane, I discovered the final blow, an email thread. Words twisted, proof fabricated. My wife believed I was skimming money from our company. Charlotte's handiwork, crafted meticulously, laced with enough truth to poison. And my wife, brilliant, ruthless, my equal, chose to believe her, not me. That night, sleep eluded me. Rage kept me alert, cold, deliberate. By dawn, a plan formed. I didn't plead when she fired me. I didn't argue while security led me past employees avoiding my gaze. I let her strip me of title, office, the place I bled for. They thought they'd won. Victory breeds complacency. I went silent. Silence is underestimated. It forces enemies to fill the void with noise. They relax. They believe the battle is over. While they celebrated my exile, I arranged the board. First, I secured evidence, every file, signature, late-night transfer we had made. Charlotte fabricated. I preserved originals. Second, I spoke quietly to lawyers. She thought she controlled everything. But the company was under a trust one designed, clauses she never read, assuming I handled the details. Her empire wasn't unassailable. Third, I prepared the decisive strike. Divorce papers, not surrender, but strategy. Clauses freezing assets, exposing fraud, pulling Charlotte into the light she loathed. Patience makes revenge sweeter. For weeks later, the call came. Her voice cold. "Have you reflected?" I said yes, and walked into her glass office holding a folder. Her sister perched like a vulture. I set the papers on the desk. Silence. My wife reached first, anticipating apology. Her eyes scanned, the moment truth struck. These were not reconciliation papers. Divorce filings, asset freezes, attached evidence. Her lips parted. No sound. Charlotte grabbed the papers, face twisting into panic. She screamed before her sister could speak. "You can't do this. You can't." But it was done. The fallout was swift. Lawyers circling. Board members in emergency meetings. Headlines hinting cracks in the empire. My clauses trapped her assets. Charlotte's fake documents now evidence of fraud. She'd thrived in shadows. Now the spotlight scorched her. I didn't raise my voice. Silence did. The confrontation wasn't cinematic. It was surgical. My wife's eyes, once steel sharp, rimmed with betrayal. Not at me, but at herself. She realized she'd been played by family. Charlotte screamed until security hauled her away. Threats, curses, lunges. Noise buried her. My wife sat frozen. No tears, no apology, just silence. She understood too late what she lost at 30,000 feet. In the end, I didn't gloat. Revenge isn't rooftop triumph. It's standing amid betrayal's ashes, knowing you survived. You won. I left that glass office like I should have left the plane. Calm, straight-backed, untouchable. Behind me, the empire fractured. Charlotte, dragged into lawsuits, blacklisted. My wife, once untouchable, suddenly exposed. Not destroyed, I delivered earned consequences. And me? Silence remained my ally. I signed. Close the door. People ask if I regret, if I miss her, if in quiet hours I recall the woman who once saw me as her foundation. I do. But foundations matter only if the house isn't rotten. She asked if I'd reflected. I had. And reflection taught me, when someone throws you out of their jet at 30,000 feet, the best revenge is walking away while they crash the landing.